go. Let it go. Your whole life is in the threshold. Whoever hurt you better let it go. Let it go.
All right. What's going on? It's your boy Mike Mall. This is the Mullitover podcast. Today. We live, baby. We ain't live, but we will be. This will be something you can definitely upload, watch in your leisure. You know, I thank you for tuning in. For anyone who tunes in, I thank you. I know that this will be something fun, something epic. We will learn and grow together. I think that there is a lot to be said. Most of the stuff we will be discussing today is pretty much how we be feeling sometimes. You know, I've been in situations where I was afraid to be the first one to do it because if I failed, it would look terrible. Like, you ever been in a situation where you know that if you don't succeed, all eyes is on you like Pop? You know, it's like, man, I want to do this, but I'm afraid to take that leap. I mean, even from, you know, small things such as sports or some people, it's like even graduating school sometimes. Being the first in the family to do something is hard. I believe sometimes we be nervous about being better or challenging ourselves to be better than somebody. There's people in your family that got all types of talents and things, and you may have some of those same talents, but you like, well, Cousin Ronnie, he can draw, so I'm gonna just let him draw. Why you can't? What happens if you're better than Cousin Ronnie? And now you the top dog. You know, like in the movie, what's that, Juice? You remember Raheem and Bishop and all that? He told him, you got the juice now, little dude. At the end, you got the juice now. What happens when you get the juice? You should be proud that somebody is coming after you to do better than you. I know in my life, I want my kids to outdo me by far. I want them to be like top tier successful. If I make it to 1 million, I would love it if they made it to 1 billion. Why not? If the goal is to be the first, that means I'm the first one there, so now I can pull everybody else. It's like mountain climbing. If I'm the first one to get to the top of that mountain, I put my stake in, I plant myself, I sit down, make myself anchored, and then the people that's behind me, I'm slowly pulling them up. I'm rooting them on, I'm cheering them, because I want them to be successful too. So the thing in life you have to remember is never be afraid to be first. And if you ain't, never be afraid to challenge the one who is. I was watching The Wonder Years, and little guy, I think his name Kevin on there, this the new one, you know, with the little black boy. Anyway, he played the saxophone like his dad, woo woo. So he going for first chair in their recital. He playing, he get first chair. But he didn't work for it, he just had it. Next thing you know, the boy who had been practicing longer, putting in more hours, he get to playing. He said, I want to challenge him. Pretty much in that band cycle, to get the first chair or first drum or whatever, you gotta keep challenging the person to get the best. Next thing you know, he started off his first chair, he ended up his 5th chair. He go to his dad all sad and pouting. His dad like, well, did you work? Did you put the time in? Did you do what needed to be done? Listen, you being first is an indicator of hard work and dedication. Don't put yourself to the side because you're afraid to be first. First was given to you. God put you in positions where you can achieve and rise above everything. It's like LeBron, let's take him. First in his family to do what he did, but not just that, he the first in Akron ever to become a pro athlete that was a billionaire. Not the first ever pro athlete, first ever billionaire pro athlete out of Akron. Now he can in turn look back and pull up his homies, pull up his little cousins, whoever, brother, sister, I don't know that man's family, but he can reach and pull somebody up. Because he was first, he is allowed now to look back and say, I made this mistake. Don't go that way. That road wasn't worth it. Go this way. Stay away from that person. That's what being first does. I know little girls right now who say they don't want to get pregnant in their teens, and that's good. You don't want that choice to follow you and be a plague on your family. A lot of times we assign these things names such as curses when actually it's not a curse. It's a choice. You can choose to be different, which makes you the first. It's generations where she had her daughter at 16, she had her daughter at 17, she had her daughter at 17, she had her. Well, guess what? What happens when that little girl decides she's going to be the first not to, and she sticks to it? Now she has just become a chain breaker, a rhythm breaker. She has now set the tone for something different. But in order to do that, you have to take away the fear of embarrassment or shame or, well, you ain't doing this or you need to not do that. This little girl might be getting teased because she's not having sex with everybody. You don't know the story. Don't know what she's going through, but you do know that she ain't have a kid in her teen years. You do know that she's been working hard. You do know that it's not hard to be a teenager right now. Life is lifing, and you can't change that. But what you can change is how you outlook it, how you see it from your view and your perspective. Nobody sees the world like you see the world. You are always the first to see the world the way you see it. And the only way people can engage your world is if you give it to them or allow them space to have in it. At the end of the day, we have to really think and consider, why do we fear being first? Because of the challenges it presents us? Because of the hard work that comes with it? If your goal is really to help, reach, pull, pour, or any of those things that we like to say we do, then you have to not be afraid of being first. Because in this race we run, it's not your normal race. Even in the Christian walk, the race is not a sprint. It's more of a marathon that's very, very extended and has a lot of detours. But you have to stay the course. That's why the Bible says the battle is not given to the swift. The race is not given to the one who runs the fastest. It's given to the one who takes the time to notice all the little nuances along the way and not fall into the ditches that you're going to run into if you're going too fast. You got to understand, being first or being one who challenges first is not being a hater. It's quite the opposite. It's being inspired. That means that someone ahead of you inspired you, or you are the person that's doing the inspiring. You are the person that's pulling these people and saying, hey, let's go. You can't change your outlook on you without thinking of who comes behind you. If you don't ever think about who's to follow you, then there's a problem. Because my mindset is, if I become the first millionaire, how do I ensure that my kids and their kids and their kids are millionaires as well? It says a good man leaves an inheritance. So how can I ensure that even though I was the first millionaire, that the millionaire line doesn't stop with me? Because isn't our platform, our top is supposed to be their platform to stand on? So are we giving our people a fair platform to stand on? Are we reaching the highest heights? Look y'all, look, nothing is guaranteed. But what's the point of dying knowing that you never tried to do anything? If you always settle for mediocre, you can never, ever, ever reach your greatness. You will hear me say it 1,000 times. As long as you continue to settle for what you deem is okay, you'll never reach your greatness. If people stopped because they say, hey man, you did what you could do, man, kudos to you, man, you reached the top. No, and they stopped. You wouldn't have your Martin Luther Kings, Malcolm X's, you wouldn't have your Michael Jordans, you wouldn't have your Jay-Z's, you wouldn't have your Taylor Swift, I guess if you want to throw her in there. She seems to be the talk of the town right now, even though I believe that Jay-Z really was on to something, Because if Beyonce did all that she did and achieved all she has achieved, she was the first to do what she's doing, and she still ain't getting it. But what did he say? He said, keep showing up. That's the same mentality we got to take with this thing where you be first. So what if they not recognizing you for what you know you do and you putting that work in? Make them see you. Make them notice you. Make them know your name. When I had boys playing football and I was coaching for South, and this before we had nice, neat jerseys with names on the back. They had 0 names, and they'd tell you, anybody that I coached would tell you. I would say, your jerseys are blank on the back, or they just say Rangers. I said, if you go out there and do your job, people gonna start to wonder who you are. And when they wondering who you are, they gonna want a name to go with that jersey. There is no name on the jersey. Make them know your name. When they see that number 4, they need to know who you are. They need to know that's him. Or in the words of Kenny Smith, mama, there goes that man. That's the kind of stuff we need. That's what we need in our lives. We need to be pushing each other like that. Make them know your name. The haters need to know your name. The people behind you need to know your name. They need to all be able to look to you and say, with him, we gonna keep going. Even in your demise, suppose you get older, whatever, life happens, you pass. The one behind you should be able to pick up your mantle and keep going. The one behind you should be able to keep pushing forward. The one behind you should be able to keep carrying on the legacy. That's what it's all about. What is your legacy gonna be? Be first and never fear looking back and helping someone else surpass you. Because it's only good if you can reach and bring somebody where you at. If you can reach, boom. Now they think, hey bro, let me give you a boost up. Because now, as I lift him up, guess what he can do? Hey bro, I made it. Let me show you how I did it. Boom. Now y'all pulling each other. Now that becomes a human chain of success. All because I sat back, took the time, and let go of the fear of being first or being different or being strange. I'm focused. I ain't strange, I'm focused. I ain't weird, I'm focused. I'll be a lame, but I'm focused. And if my goal is to get to 1 million, then we gonna get there. You have to be focused. I don't care what they say. I don't care if they don't like you. I don't care if they do. You gotta be able to say, I'm focused. And you can't shift it. I have a goal, I have to go after it. You have to become the lion. The lion can't listen to the hyenas cackling because he's too busy being a lion. Be the lion. I ain't got time to mingle with y'all over there. I'm focused. I ain't got time to go to the club. I'm focused. I ain't got time to go shoot some hoops. I'm focused. I got something to do. I gotta be first. I got people behind me waiting for me to reach the top, the pinnacle. And then when I reach that pinnacle and I anchor in and I sit down and I lower that rope, I'm pulling the next person. And then we go up to another mountain and now I'm the one down there, he pulling me. Challenge yourself to be first so that you can make others first too. And watch the chains around you start to break. You will change your whole life by taking away the fear of success. But with the fear of success, you gotta remember this too. It comes with sacrifice. We ain't gonna succeed at nothing if we don't apply the sacrifices that it comes with. I read a thing once about Floyd Mayweather. They said he don't even go out. When he training, he don't go out. He ain't hanging out nowhere. He once went out to a little bar, whatever the case may be, and left it jogging because he's like, I don't need to be here, I need to be training. He jogged 4.5 miles home. Where's your focus? Where's your focus? Get focused. Tune yourself in. The same way that you tuning into the Mullitover podcast. Hey y'all, I ain't gonna hold you. Get ready for live, thought-provoking, deep conversation. I'm trying to do some great things on this show. And this is how we're gonna do it. This is only the beginning. We will talk about things like this. This is me, and my wife had to talk to me many a times about this, and a lot of people kept pumping into me that I should do this and I should do this. This is me not being afraid to be the first. No, I'm not the first podcaster, of course not. But I'm the first person that's gonna really try to push this thing and come out of my comfort zone. And I'm gonna try to be the first person to pull my family. Everybody that's following me, I want them to be great. I want them to be better than me. And then, hey, maybe in a couple years, you can pull me up too. But we want to be millionaires around here. Some of us off to a better start than others, but we trying to be millionaires. And I'm trying to have where Nova's great grandkids is still playing with the money we make now. We're gonna walk in that, we're gonna claim that. I need y'all to tune in, subscribe, like, hit that little button down here wherever it's gonna be. Hit the button, like and subscribe, tune in. Mullitover Podcast at gmail.com. We always gonna keep it lit. And I wanna talk about what you wanna hear. There's topics that I may not be touching that you want me to speak on. Tune in, or send your emails in. Mullitover Podcast, gmail.com. Y'all know how this go. Y'all know I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, that's my time. Peace.